Dear brothers and sisters, I'm glad that we have this event today where we can share a lot of things, inshallah. But before we go into the program, please allow me to introduce myself a little bit more. I have to clarify that I'm not an ustaz or ustud. I'm not an ulama. I am not a scholar in Islam. I have never studied I've never got any formal education in the university. I became a Muslim only about 9 years ago. This afternoon, my presentation will be more from the view of a layman. And in fact, I wish I can speak better English, so please bear with me. The subject for this afternoon is Islam a backward religion? I have to admit, before I become a Muslim, I too had the impression and had some problem with Islam. I had several questions about Islam, such as, Islam is a difficult religion. Why is there a lot of do's and don'ts in Islam? This is haram, that is haram, this is wajib, that is wajib. There's a lot of restriction in Islam. Why make it so difficult? I always had the impression Islam is a religion where it encourages people to be poor, because God loves poor people and God dislikes rich people. I had the impression, in order for you to be a good Muslim, you must only focus on the life after and forget about this world. I had certain problems with certain issues in Islam especially, such as, I believe this is also in the mind of many people, polygamy. Why Islam allows a man to marry more than one wife? Why not also allow women to marry more than one husband at a time? Only then you have equal right. Why, when there is an inheritance, male always get double the portion as compared to women? And of course, we are also painted with the picture, Islam propagates terrorism, fundamentalism, extremism, suicide bombing, violence, so many questions we have. And I hope this afternoon we can share and clarify many of these questions. And before we go to the subject proper, is Islam a backward religion? Let me begin by giving you the introduction to the meaning or definition of Islam itself. Islam is derived from the two Arabic words, namely Aslam and Salama. Aslam means peace, harmony, tranquility, serenity. Aslama means willing obedience, willing submission, total surrender. In short, Islam means attaining peace by giving total and willing submission to Almighty God. And in the life of a Muslim, God plays an important role. And the definition of a Muslim now is this: anyone who willingly obeys Almighty God, the true God, the God which created the universe. If anyone who obeys the true Almighty God, he is known as Muslim. Therefore, technically, even the sun, the moon, the earth is also Muslim. Because the moon orbits around the earth orbits around the sun, and the sun itself has an orbit which it takes about 200 million years to complete one. And they all obey the law of God. So they are Muslim. Even our heart is also Muslim, because the heart pumps blood to our body. And our lungs is also Muslim, because when we breathe in air, it absorbs oxygen. It does not absorb nitrogen. Even though nitrogen is 80% of the air. They are Muslim. And lung, tomorrow, it cannot say, I want to disobey God's law. Instead of absorbing oxygen, I want to absorb nitrogen now. The lung cannot say that, thank God. But if the lung does that, what will happen? We will suffocate to death. In other words, in this universe, in this system, when we disobey God, there will be chaos and destruction. So anyone who obeys God, technically is known as Muslim. And when we choose not to obey God, then we are known as non-submission. And comparing to the creation, all the creation submits willingly to Almighty God, but human beings, we are unique. God has given us, the human being, the permission to make free choices. We have the free will to make choices. We can choose either to obey God or to disobey God. And when we choose to obey God, we will be in harmony with our Creator and also harmony with fellow creation. But if we choose to disobey God, then we get destruction and chaos around us. And in Islam, we say everything that happens with the permission of God. It is mentioned in Surah Fatih, chapter 35, verse number 1. God has power over all things. Not even a single leaf can fall to the ground without God's permission. But as human beings, we have the choice, so we must choose wisely. Now, God is the central in the human life. For the Muslim, it is central. So it is very important for us Muslims to be able to identify who is God and who is not God. And the Quran offers us the solution. It is mentioned in Surah Al-Ikhlas, chapter number 112, verse number 1 to 4. How to recognize God. The Quran says, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Qul huwallahu ahad. Say, He is God, one and only. God is not 2, 3, 5, or 10. He is only one. Allahu samad. God is eternal and absolute. There is no beginning for God. There is no ending for God. God requires no sustenance. God do not require to eat, to drink, to sleep. But we, the creation, we are dependent on God. We need high teas like this, but God doesn't. The third verse is, Lam yalid walam yulad. He begets not, nor is he begotten. God have no son, no daughter, no mother, no father, no uncle, no auntie, no cousins. He is one and only. Walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. There is nothing like unto God. The Creator is not the same with the creation. Whatever we can see is not God. Even if we close our eyes, whatever picture or image that comes to our mind, that is not God. This 4-line definition of God is a touchstone in theology for us Muslims. Theology is a Greek word. Theo means God and logy means study. For the study of God, this is a touchstone. Normally, if you have gold, and if you want to sell the gold, you will go to a goldsmith. And the goldsmith will take the gold and rub against the touchstone, the black granite stone, and the goldsmith will be able to tell you whether the gold is 24 karat gold, 18 karat gold, or maybe not gold at all. Not everything that glitters is gold. So for us Muslims, if there's any candidate who claims divinity, we will put that candidate into this 4 acid test. If that candidate can pass this acid test, as Muslim, we have no problem to worship that candidate as Almighty God, because the test is so stringent, only true God will pass. Any false claim will fail miserably.